student who says she was a victim of this. She reached out to us this weekend after we told you about the university's warning Friday.
Dreams of basketball glory, a promising young talent, and a shocking allegation that could derail everything. The University of Missouri's men's basketball program is under intense scrutiny after one of its star prospects was accused of inappropriate conduct.
A misunderstanding or an accidental mistake, what happened. It's serious and it, doesn't just affect me, didn't just hurt me physically, but it hurt me mentally.
On the evening of March of this year, the woman we are calling Jane.
In this video, we'll break down the details of the case, the reactions from the university and the basketball community, and what this means for college sports.
They just finished their formal investigation and decided that there's enough evidence to move forward.
Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on sports scandals and controversies. The incident, a party that turned into a nightmare. In March of this year, a young woman who we'll call Jane to protect her identity attended an off-campus house party with friends, not knowing that this seemingly innocent evening would become a painful memory that would haunt her. Jane claims that on this night, her drink was spiked, causing her to become highly intoxicated very quickly. Everything went blurry. Jane recalls, "I was sober, and then suddenly, I was drunk. I don't remember anything in between."
The woman we are calling Jane headed out to an off-campus party with some of her friends. That night, Jane believes she was drugged.
I got drunk very fast. I don't even really remember a period of just being drunk. I was sober and then I remember nothing.
For many, parties like these are meant to be fun, social, and full of laughter. But for Jane, it quickly turned into an ordeal that would change her life. Her sense of security shattered. Jane's trust in the very social setting she once enjoyed was forever altered. She now finds herself grappling with not only the trauma of the assault, but also the lingering feeling of vulnerability that lingers in everyday interactions. The aftermath. Waking up to the reality. The next morning, Jane woke up in a state of confusion and distress. "I had terrible pain in my head and neck, and I felt that my lip was busted. I looked down, I was only wearing my socks. I was in a bed next to a man."
Waking up the next morning, I had terrible pain in my head and my neck, and I felt that my lip was busted. I looked down, I was only wearing my socks, and I was in a bed next to the man.
What happened to her that night was not clear at first, but as the hours went by, it became apparent that something very wrong had occurred. This wasn't just a case of overindulgence. Jane believed she had been drugged. The signs were unmistakable. A sharp pain, the feeling of being violated, and a foggy, traumatic memory of what had transpired. The unsettling thoughts didn't stop there. As Jane's mind raced with questions, she found herself wondering if she could ever truly trust anyone again and how the system would respond to her cry for justice. The disturbing text message. As if waking up to the physical aftermath wasn't enough, Jane began receiving text messages from the man she believes assaulted her. One message stood out of the rest. "I never said I was happy about what happened while you were passed out. I only did that because I trusted you." This was not just an admission. It was a cruel reminder of what Jane had endured.
I got the text message saying, "I never said I was happy about the sex we had while you were passed out. I only did that because I trusted you."
It confirmed her worst fears, that the man she had been in close proximity to the night before had crossed a line that cannot be undone. These messages haunted Jane, replaying the night's horror in her mind over and over again, making the process of moving forward seem even more impossible. She couldn't help but feel that her own vulnerability had been weaponized in the most hurtful way. Seeking help, the struggle to find justice. After receiving this disturbing message, Jane reached out to True North Columbia, a local organization that supports survivors of domestic and assault abuse. Their team guided her through the steps necessary to take legal action. She filed a police report and sought a restraining order. But despite her efforts, justice seemed far out of reach. For nearly 4 months, the Columbia Police Department investigated the allegations. But in August, they made an unexpected decision. It would not file charges. Jane was devastated. Despite the text messages and her clear account of the night, the police determined there wasn't enough evidence to move forward. The painful realization of a justice system that often feels more like a maze than a refuge for survivors weighed heavily on Jane's heart. With each step backward, the battle for closure seemed to slip further away. Title IX, the university's response. With the police investigation coming to an unsatisfactory conclusion, Jane took her case to the University of Missouri, asking the administration to investigate the alleged misconduct under Title IX. This federal law prohibits discrimination based on gender and mandates that educational institutions take action when such allegations arise. Jane's hopes now rested on the university's hands. A hearing was scheduled for next month to determine whether the accused man, a Mizzou men's basketball prospect, violated the school's consent policy for personal interactions. If found guilty, the university would have the authority to impose academic consequences. However, as of now, no formal decision has been made. The uncertainty surrounding the university's next steps has left Jane feeling like her fight for justice is never ending. The public outcry, raising awareness. Jane's story is heartbreaking, but it is not unique. Across the country, survivors of assault are often left in a painful limbo, caught between a legal system that may not have enough evidence to pursue charges and institutions that may take weeks, if not months, to investigate. While some argue that the university should have acted more swiftly and decisively, others believe that the accused man is entitled to a fair process, regardless of the severity of the allegations. However, there is one thing that Jane made clear. She wanted to share her story to raise awareness about assaults on college campuses. The ongoing fight for justice. For Jane, the road to justice has been far from easy. Not only has she faced the emotional and physical toll of the assault itself, but she's also had to contend with a system that may not have fully supported her. In her words, it wasn't until early August that the police decided not to pursue it. Even though we have the text message admitting to it, there wasn't enough evidence to prove he sent it. So what happens when an incident like this one is dismissed by authorities? When the very system designed to protect survivors fails to do so, what recourse do they have? For many, this question remains unanswered. Lessons learned moving forward. Jane's story is a stark reminder of the issues surrounding assault and the complexities of seeking justice. It shines a light on the difficulties faced by survivors, especially in cases where physical evidence may be lacking. But it also demonstrates the importance of survivors speaking out and sharing their experiences. Though the legal system may have failed Jane, she remains determined to bring awareness to the issue of assault. In her own words, "I want to help other people feel confident to share their stories, to know they're not alone." The path to awareness. The case of Jane and the Mizzou men's basketball prospect is one that sparks numerous questions about the state of justice on college campuses. Should universities take more immediate action? What can be done to ensure that survivors are supported throughout the process? And how do we balance the rights of the accused with the experiences of the victim? While the legal battle continues, one thing is clear. Jane's courage to speak out will continue to have an impact not just on her personal case, but on the larger conversation surrounding assault on college campuses. As we await the university's decision, we must all consider the lasting effects of these situations, how they shape the lives of those involved, and how we, as a society, can work toward creating safer environments for everyone. What's your take on this unfolding scandal? Should universities be doing more to vet their recruits, or is this an isolated case? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that reveal the highs and lows of the sports world. Thanks for watching, and remember, integrity is the foundation of true success.